A jet vanishes into the Italian Alps. No distress call, no survivors. What happened inside the cockpit of Air India Flight 171 remains one of aviation's quietest mysteries. I've flown jets for over 20 years, and I've studied dozens of crashes. But few haunt me like Air India Flight 171. A peaceful morning in February 1966. A Boeing 707 named Kanchenjunga leaves Bombay for London with a stop in Geneva. At 8 a.m. local time, radar screens in Italy show the aircraft crossing the Alps. Minutes later, it disappears. No distress call, no warning, just silence. Search teams were dispatched into the freezing Alps near Mont Blanc. It took hours before they spotted wreckage, shattered metal spread across a glacier. All 117 people on board were gone. Among them was one of India's greatest scientists, Dr. Homi J. Bhabha, known as the father of India's nuclear program. To many, this was a national tragedy, but to investigators, it was something else, a puzzle that didn't fit. As a pilot, I start every investigation by asking one question: what would I have seen from that cockpit? The weather that morning was clear. The 707 was cruising steadily. The last transmission from the crew was routine, no hint of trouble. Then, nothing. Investigators recovered fragments of the flight data recorder, enough to show the plane had been descending normally, until a sudden explosion tore it apart mid-air. The wreckage pattern confirmed it. The aircraft didn't crash into the mountain. It exploded above it. Officially, the cause was listed as an in-flight fire leading to structural failure. But that answer never satisfied everyone. It was the height of the Cold War. Dr. Bhabha's death meant India's nuclear ambitions took a serious hit. Soon, whispers began. Was this really an accident? Some claimed a bomb was planted on board. Others believed it was sabotage meant to look like one. There were even theories connecting it to intelligence agencies, though nothing was ever proven. I've studied the accident reports. The evidence of an explosion was real, but its source was never traced. No fuel leak pattern, no electrical fire signature, just a mid-air breakup. Sudden and total. If you've ever flown over the Alps, you know how calm it looks from above. But flying that route, I often think of Captain Dorr, Air India 171's pilot. He was experienced, trained in London, and familiar with every inch of that route. For him to lose control without a single call, it doesn't add up. To me, it points to something catastrophic, something that gave the crew no time to react. Maybe an explosion in the cargo hold. Maybe a pressure shock that knocked out the radios instantly. When I visit accident sites, I look for human traces. The instinct to save the aircraft, to protect passengers. It's always there. But sometimes, nature or fate gives no chance at all. The wreckage of Air India 171 still lies frozen on the Italian glacier, slowly surfacing as the ice melts each summer. Every few years, pieces of the aircraft, even personal belongings, are found again, like messages returning from the past. For India, the loss of Dr. Bhabha was irreplaceable. For aviation, the case became another reminder of how fragile flight can be, even at its most routine. As pilots, we're trained to solve problems in the air, to act fast, stay calm, save lives. But some mysteries remain beyond logic. Air India Flight 171 wasn't just a crash, it was the vanishing of answers. And every time I cross the Alps, I look down and remember. Some stories stay frozen in time, waiting for truth to thaw.